Alright, so we're tuning in now. If you are, welcome. We're playing some Warcraft 3 today between StoPClick, the human, and noobyXD, the undead. This is a clan war, and we can check out the clans. Newbie is representing GFNA. That means going full North America. North America is typically looked down upon as in other regions for their Warcraft 3 skills. So it's kind of a meme. And no tanks, no win for StoPClick. Apparently 3 humans playing this week from no tanks, no win. Maybe we'll see some tanks today against our undead opponent. I'll let them know that we're ready to begin. Hopefully the players aren't too nervous. And we're ready for some fun games. We're starting on Concealed Hill, which is an interesting map for sure. It's really tricky to pull off a fast expand, especially as a relatively new player. I'm not sure about the skill levels for either of these guys. Thank you for the follow, Apocalypse. Appreciate it. Yeah, not sure about the skill level of these players, so what kind of MMR they fit into. I didn't have time to do my homework on them. But I think it's unlikely to see the human player try a fast expand. We could end up seeing a fast expand from Undead. Let's see what kind of first buildings he pulls out. We've got immediate altar, which tells me Death Knight first. Death Knight rather than Crypt Lord. So it could be something a little bit more standard. Mr. Boo says he's played both of them before. They're both pretty good players. Mr. Boo, what kind of MMR are you at normally? Maybe get some intel from one of our fellow observers here. Standard opening from the human. So it seems like between the 14 to 1600 range MMR, maybe 1200 to 1600 range. Mr. Boo says he's played both of them before, and they're both pretty good. I like that right now we see StoPClick walling off the base, except for leaving a gap by his altar. Also putting the altar towards the camps that he's about to creep, which is pretty cool to get a head start, save him a few seconds on his way over. I'm a human player, so I'll come up front with that. I'm more familiar with the humans' game plan in this matchup compared to the undeads, but it is a matchup I've studied a lot. So I'm happy to try to expand upon the strategies of each player, perhaps. Nega Nebula says they're 1400 to 1500, confirming that. That's good. Scout Footy coming out. And we got a Scout Acolyte. They will not meet paths. I wonder if it'll be some relief felt by StoPClick when he sees that it is not the Crypt Lord. I made the mistake once of seeing the Scout Acolyte and just automatically assuming that it was Death Knight. But Crypt Lord can actually work pretty well on one base. You see that a lot as well. So Scout Acolyte isn't entirely telling, although it does let the player know there's no fast expansion, typically. Militia going back from the camp to harvest some more lumber really quick, trying to make that tech timing as fast as he can. Death Knight opting to creep the Ogre Warrior. He may or may not finish this with Skellies. I've seen Happy do this, or other undeads will harvest a skeleton into some warriors and then go off and do his own thing. We'll see if the Death Knight decides to leave right away. Nope, staying on to finish that camp. Meanwhile, Archmage is creeping fast along. Right, Apocalypse brings that up. Good point. We saw the Crypt Lord getting nerfed. The beetles, the health pool has significantly gone down on level 2 and level 3. So Footy Scout comes and sees the tech is on its way. Notices lots of ghouls. No fiends yet. Tracking down that Scout Acolyte. Will likely get that kill. No, leaving it on his own. Acolyte is not killing himself. I'm curious if the Archmage is going to opt for the level 2 Harass or pushing to level 3. I see the Blacksmith coming up, so this tells me that it could be rifles. We see him stuck at 28 food. He's really got to make that second farm quick if he's going to be able to hit his Mountain King timings. And, well, he's got some time to pull out that farm. Lumber Mill coming up. Both players opting for the creep rather than engagements. Sometimes we see the Death Knight trying to poach some experience from the human player with the death coils, but no, saying I respect you as a player. I will decide to creep my own map instead. But the Archmage, if you leave the Archmage to creep, he will always go faster than the Undead. Going for the level 2 Harass here. Opting not. Okay. I hope he doesn't want to start this creep camp here. I feel like the Water Elemental is one of those panic summons where you see the opponent and you're just, hit W. But maybe he's thinking we can have a cooldown come off so we can summon a second Water Elemental really quick. Perhaps this is next level plays here. Footy's going down. First blood for the Undead player. Killing the Footy that was born to die. No defend researched. We're just going straight rifles. I like this play. Death Knight harvesting that Water Elemental for some more experience. And we've got a battle here at the creep camp. Archmage backing off. Doesn't want to sacrifice any more Water Elementals. Feels like our army size is not big enough to contest. You may be correct in thinking that, especially with all these Skeleton Warriors, which do great damage against his Riflemen. We've got 37 food for StoPClick compared to the 30 food for Newbie. We'll see if Newbie is immediately teching. Well, he's built a slaughterhouse. He has queued the Lich. I feel like his tech timing is a little late there. Maybe 20 seconds late, 15 seconds late, but not the end of the world. The human also teching tier 3 immediately. Power building the Arcane Sanctum here. We're going to see some Rifle Priest tier 3 action with some Paladin third. Mountain King second, of course, coming out. Mountain King faster, about the same time as the Lich, so equal tech for both players.
A player's forces are under attack.
Death Knight finding the replenishment potion. Archmage finding the replenishment potion. I find it interesting playing the Rifle Priest style versus the Death Knight Fiends, as it ends up becoming quite a mirror. In the idea that both players are going tri-hero, both players are putting lots of emphasis on the range, they're both investing in sustain. Let's see what happens. Big Nova on the Rifleman. Saving the Crypt Fiend. I think this rifle is going to go down though. He's at 43 health. Frostmourne hungers. He's chasing him down. Another kill. Not so lucky to capture that Fiend on the other side. See if he can get this one. We do not have enough mana for a coil. This Fiend's going to go down. Oh, Fiend's misrallied back to the army. Saved at last second with a coil. This Stormbolt is cutting down Fiends left and right. This is going to be a second kill for the human player. We've got a 7 food advantage for the human. And tier 3 tech is 2/3 of the way done. We've got our first priest coming out. I believe that's the first. I can't see him anywhere else. Still initiate rank. I'm always interested when playing this strategy of when to upgrade the priests. When to tech the adept and into masters. It feels like it's you want to get priests on the battlefield to help bring your army back up. But getting that inner fire online as soon as possible is such a requirement as well. I'd be curious as how... Oh yeah, he's queued it up right after the second priest. That's probably the same kind of timing I would do. Not that I'm a master by any means, but I can see the way he's thinking here. Both players doing a great job spending their gold. Both sitting on a good amount of lumber. For the human, this means perhaps an expansion is along the way. We've got a lot of peasants ready for that tier 2 or tier 3 expansion. StoPClick looking a little bit lost. Perhaps thinking about pushing, but he doesn't want to push before he gets his tier 3 timing. He needs orb, he needs staff, he needs paladin, he needs inner fire, and he needs some rifle upgrades as well. There's a lot of things that still need to come online for this human. But finds the creep jack. Does a great job of finding some punishment here. Got to be careful to micro these rifles back as they're hurt. Rifle numbers are super important for the human in this matchup. I really like this teleport out. Wow, is able to save both rifles. That's so big. Oh, it's undead teleporting. Oh, that's my mistake. Snags a rifle kill on his way out. Paladin, still not queued. This is a problem that I find on tier 3 as well. It's hard to find the gold for everything. I like that he postponed his Arcane Vault, because we don't really need that until tier 3, and you do want to start stacking up on some units first. Perhaps he's kind of concerned about breaking upkeep on this Paladin. We'll see if it comes out as soon as his farm is. Let's check out the Undead's base. We are not seeing Banshee tech yet. Sometimes humans end up going rifles and priests. Sometimes they end up teching in knights as well. I'm along the lines of teching in some knights. But it does create some weakness to Banshees. So perhaps a risky camp where you can potentially start losing some units here. Yeah, a footman dies and a rifleman dies. That's got to feel bad. Both players probably stretching in their macro at this sense. Really trying to hit their timings and spending as much money as they can. Keeping that APM high. Easy to lose units here and there to the creeps. If I were Nega, I would probably, if I were StoPClick, I would cancel the rifle, build a paladin, build a priest, and I think that would take you right to 50 food. And that would give you a little bit more time to buy your orb, to buy your Staff of Sanctuary. I like that he's creeping up Mountain King 3. The human player's win condition in this match is to get a level 3 Archmage, level 3 Paladin, level 3 Mountain King. And once you get that trifecta of 3/3/3 heroes, you get a lot of burst, you get a lot of sustain in the Holy Light rank 2, being able to counteract the Coil Nova. And it becomes really hard for the Undead to really outmuscle it. But we got a great push here from the Undead. Oh, a Zeppelin play. Interesting. I want to see how great he is at microing the Zeppelin. Is he able to pick up the units before they die? That looks like Clap 1. Stormbolt 2. Mountain King taking a lot of damage, but has a greater potion of healing, so he's not in danger yet. Pops that. But Coil Nova finds him now. He's got to start being careful. He can't afford to lose this Mountain King. The Zeppelin's there, takes him away. Well done. Wow, he brought the militia in as well. That's really, really great. Good thinking. Having those mapped to a control group. We got one more Stormbolt. Finds the Fiend. Can he get this around? This Zeppelin play, scooping up those injured units. Really, really well done from StoPClick. Gotta reward. Gotta recognize a player's micro when it's due. The Inner Fire is online. No Paladin coming out yet. Perhaps he's looking to close this out just with 2 heroes rather than the full 3. I would have liked to see that Paladin out earlier. And I also would have liked to see this creep camp crept. So that during this fight or after this fight, you can send off the peasants to build a second base, an expansion. We're seeing a Griffin transition though. Interesting. I am always so scared. Moon Zeppelin ain't got nothing on StoPClicks. I agree, man. StoPClick's doing great. I'm always kind of concerned with Griffins, especially just building one Griffin Aviary, because you don't get the Stormhammers. You kind of just a couple units. This Heal Soul is doing crazy amount of healing right now. And just web. Web is so powerful. Web with fiends, I find my griffins just get shredded in that situation. It feels really bad for me. Okay, yep, looks like peasants are coming out for this expansion. That's really good. He's got money. He wants to spend it. He's banking, banking, banking.
A player's forces are under attack.
Still no paladin coming out. Undead looking just to lick his wounds. Upgrades. 0-0 for the undead. 1-0 for the human. Griffin Aviary is made, nothing in production. We've got more upgrades queued for the human player, more upgrades queued for the undead. Now who's going to take this prize? Is the undead going to try to fish it? Oh, he starts it. This could be a big creep jack. Big moment in this game, for sure. This Stormbolt is finding a fiend nearly every time it has been thrown this game. Wow, and the clap to follow it up. Mountain King definitely showing his potential for disaster. Wow, another fiend falls. And a staff on the rifleman. Silence on the Archmage, but misses the Mountain King. Great good burrow micro there. Oh, StoPClick losing some units to the creep camp. Perhaps Newbie's going to lose his destroyer. It's looking bad. Doesn't want to lose it. Oh, he loses it to the creeps. That feels so bad. Expansion is now mining for StoPClick. Second Arcane Vault. Interesting. Perhaps he's looking to maximize the staff usage. I do want to see the Paladin come out. Even level 1 Paladin can make a big difference. Oh, we do have a second engagement here. Human not willing to back down. Invuln used on the Archmage. Abomination falls. Perhaps the second Abomination is going to fall here too. We got a second Stormbolt coming up in about 10 seconds. Archmage has got to be careful. He's very low health. Zeppelin play saves him. Oh wow, Lich Invul Potion at 25 health. He's far away from the fray here, ready to use the TP or scoop him up if the Death Coil comes, and a TP out. Wow, what a great engagement for the human player. You got to think that this fight is favoring the human in this scenario. Yeah, the Expo's mining. We've got lots of wood production as well. Nothing on the undead side. Undead's sitting at 50 supply compared to the 55 on the humans. Still staying on Rifleman. This Griffin Aviary has not produced anything this game. Paladin's now in production. And we're making good use of this Fountain of Health. Okay, so now it is up to the undead. Are you going to be able to sniff out this expansion? Are you going to be able to punish before these towers come up online? We see a workshop as well. We've got 4 different production buildings ready to go from StoPClick.
A player's forces are under attack.
Is he going to be able to make use of all of them? Perhaps the Griffin... Oh, we see our first Griffin come out. Okay, we have an armor upgrade for the Griffin. 2-1 on the rifles. We do see this scout in the expansion. Now the undead has got a question. Do I all in? Or do I try to ease it out on one base? Is that a kind of a dire moment in this game? I like the way he's thinking. Can we get this creep camp to get down? Maybe get like a True Shot Aura. Get level 3 in the Lich.
A player's forces are under attack.
Another Fiend down. No TP, so he's got the long walk of shame back to his base. Inner Fire Griffins are looking pretty dangerous. Paladin's coming up. No support items, but we've got more rifles and priests entering the fray. And that's enough just to distract and get him out of here. I like this. This is a good distraction. It pulls the undead player up into the north, buys time for your towers to come back up online, and really secure this expansion. Well done. And look at that. Doesn't even get the red drake. That feels ultra bad as the undead. I think if the undead had web, the Zeppelin would have gone down much faster, and he would have also gotten this red dragon as well. But we've got our next engagement coming out. Banshees die, left and right. Okay, we do have web. First Griffin Rider is webbed. Is he going down? Griffin Rider falls. Rifleman taking lots of damage, staffed out, well done. We've got a lot of damage going on to these statues here. Mountain King finds the kill on the statues. That's going to cut down a lot of the undead army sustain. Destroyer falls. We've got a coil. Finds the coil. We've got a fiend way in the back of the human army. Death Knight taking lots of damage. Uses the invuln potion. Riflemen being turned into skeleton warriors. Priests falling. Another skeleton warrior appears. But trading for banshees. Maybe realizes that the human has found his win condition, calls a good game. Wow, what an exciting first match. I really like the rifle one base play. Especially on Concealed Hill. Being able to creep much faster. We saw that at the beginning of the map. Where perhaps I can put my camera up here so it feels like you're actually talking to a person. Which way? Clockwise. There we are. Cool. Yeah. So I really like the creeping from the human. Did a great job of securing level 2.5, keeping the undead in his base. And that attack onto the undead's main was enough to pull him up north and really secure that expansion. Instead of fighting at the fountain, where perhaps the undead could retreat and find some healing, or maybe take some high ground, or have a positional advantage, human says, I just need a few seconds to build up my expansion, let that mine a bit more, and secure my army. Really, really good macro timings by the human. That Mountain King, man, that Mountain King looked dangerous. Okay, looking forward to game 2. It goes to the undead's pick between Amazonian and Echo Isles. Let's see what we're up here. GNL 2, game is made. And it definitely looks like we're going for some more one-base play on Amazonia. I'd be very surprised to see a fast expansion. I'd be very surprised to see a Crypt Lord. I think it's going to be... He's in chat. StoPClick saying, wow, the adrenaline's huge. He hasn't played like this since 2005. Big shout out to GNL, Gym Newbie League. What a fun experience that we get to have from this. Being able to sweat, having that heart pounding as we're having these crazy fights. Trying to manage everything at once. Yeah, very cool that we were able to put this on and have some great series here. Alright, StoPClick and noobyXD showing down on Amazonia. So, if I were the human player, which I can relate to most, I would say let's keep on running that same strategy. Wrong map? Oh, we maybe have, maybe he wanted to play Echo Isles instead. He's seeming to having some trouble with the zoom, perhaps? Oh, it's a version of the map that is the problem here. Gotcha. Because W3 Champions likely came out with a number of re-downloaded maps, and you got to click those ones rather than the standard ladder ones. Guess there's this refresh button that does the same thing. I got it ready to hide the camera too so you can see the whole screen. So, Rifleman, very good on this map as well. As we were entering into the tier 2 timing, they're very good at creeping the rock golem camp. Whether that's south of the gold mine at the natural, or at either natural, or the golems on either side of the map. They do struggle against the kobolds in the middle a bit, especially because of that huge normal damage. I'm interested to see what kind of strategies our players come up with. This is definitely a matchup where the pace of the game is kind of set by the human player rather than the undead. Undead typically has about, we've seen mostly just one or two strategies that have seen really high level pro play. Whether it's Crypt Lord first or Death Knight first. Although a good player that can run a Dreadlord is no joke, especially at lower MMR for people that aren't in the top 500 players in the world. I think a lot of times people default to just do what the pros do, but sometimes a kind of a tricky strategy up your sleeve can really make a big difference. I wonder if our undead player has some pocket strategies up their sleeve beyond the DK, Fiends, Lich, Dark Ranger. Looks like our players are having a tough time downloading the maps. Looks like he got it. One player was able to host, and the other was able to download the map from them. People are posting it in the Discord so they can download it from there. Gypocalypse, what kind of zoom do you prefer? What's your favorite zoom setting? I've kind of experimented a little bit. I kind of stay pretty close at 1950. I'm more of like a 1750 kind of guy, a little closer in. My little human units are tough to micro around. Okay, looks like it's hosted. Apparently not. Maybe they're still just trying to get the game. I think it's really cool that W3 champions have recognized that zoom is a good feature to have. And why not give the players the option to choose how far away they see the screen? It just seems like it's a no-brainer, really. If only we had a company that was as dedicated to the game, that could work. Neganebule says, StoPClick perhaps grinded 30 games against Undead before this match. Wow, that is some dedication there. That is like beating your head against the wall. I respect that a lot. Can't imagine how fun that would be. Imagine how many times you have to lose. Because normally when you're grinding, at least when I'm grinding, I like to play against someone who's better than me. That's a lot of punishment. Okay, apparently the game's hosted. Let's find it. Oh, Gym 2. Okay, cool. Alright, we're here. Oh man, yeah, I feel Age Apocalypse. This game really takes it out of me. It's such a... If they want to know if they can chat during the match, it's cool. But yeah, man, this game sure takes it out of me in that sense. It's a lot of effort to get that win. Most of the time. I mean, most of the time games take a lot. Hey, thanks for the follow, Nikki. Appreciate it. Okay, let's take away my camera. I think we're good. Alright, so this time we got StoPClick starting in the top right. Looking like a standard opener. Straight into altar. Leaving a bit of room on the left and a bit of room on the right. Enough to fill in with a farm on each side. And we've got an instant altar. by Newbie. So it's looking like a complete rematch from last time. Both players confident in their strategies. Looking to just perfect that execution a little more. Maybe seems to have some ping issue between the players. That's okay. Having a bit of ping, not such a bad thing. Means that you can blame the lag rather than your build order or your timings instead of rather than the ping. Always got to have that excuse. Okay, but a 362 ping is not bad or not good. That is significant. I've played a lot on EU servers. And I'm pretty used to playing with about 150 to 180 ping. But 360 is pretty tough. I'd offer to host. Yeah, he's saying I don't want to play. Newbie's from Singapore. You know, it's one of the things that makes this game so great is that we've got some international players. You really get a sense of different people from across the country, across the whole world. But it also has its drawbacks as well, where it's tough to get a good, fair match. Because 360 ping is really tough to play through. I don't blame him. Let's keep an eye on the Discord. So it seems like the players have decided that since Newbie had 300 ping on the last map, StoPClick is saying, I'll take the 300 ping on my map to host because that is only fair. So we've seen some really good sportsmanship here. Jats with the tower rush. I haven't experienced that firsthand. I'd love to see that in action. But yeah, when you're playing a strategy with no brains, no brains or no hands needed, yeah, it doesn't matter what your ping is. Okay, we got our game coming up. Gym number 2. Hopefully this is the one. Thank you for the follow, Bleo. I appreciate that. I'm excited to see this game get going. MrH0ner is one of my favorite maps. It seems like it's the less kind of strategic variance from one strategy to the next, for one game to the next. And more just about, can you execute a game plan from start to finish and make the fewest number of mistakes possible. Already we see the altar on the left rather than the right. I'm guilty of this too. So just send the peasants up on the shortest path possible. And I often stick it in the wrong spot as a result. See the altar on the right spot for the correct spot for Newbie though. Just means that your archmage has to walk an extra 4 or 5 seconds over to the creep spot. So, for the human side of things... Oh, I need to cut off the camera. Sorry, guys. For the human side of things, we're looking at this lightning shield creep and making this really smooth. We're looking for... The first thing should die, should be the wizard. Should be the water elemental tanking one or both of the level 3 creeps here, and all of the militia surrounding the level 5 wizard and smashing it down before it can cast that second lightning shield. If it messes up and we get another lightning shield on one of the rogues, it can spell disaster for the early game, just leading lots of easy targets for death coils in the human line. Base layout for human is pretty spread out. I don't mind it as much. He's thinking that, yeah, we do have a DK. That's confirmed. Thank you. But yeah, a bit loose. Lots of holes. to kind of run into your base for the last second. Both players hitting their timings pretty well. Oh, Acolyte running into the creeps here, too bad. And any second now, we should see the militia being pulled. There they are. 5 militia come. Really good timings. You can tell that StoPClick is feeling like they're in the zone. Now, just this one variable of this Acolyte with low health can really mess things up. You get in the habit of doing the creep camp the same way every time. And having that small little variable can really make a big difference, but that does not phase StoPClick at all. Easily executes the creep camp. No second lightning shield. Doing really well. I'd like to see him pull the second green camp here for his second water elemental. Just so that his militia can take it on. No, electing not to. Taking some unnecessary damage on the footy here. Not the end of the world. We are seeing that arcane tower coming up. Usually an arcane in the main means the Archmage wants to stay away from home, wants to leave their base and maybe hit one of the central creep camps through here. I think it's rather unusual. What is happening here? Oh, we've got an expansion from the human. We've got a 3-farm expansion. We've got to get another farm up quick if you're going to do that play. Oh man. I don't know if I like this. We'll see how it goes. Got a lot of peasants. Can the DK scout it? No, DK does not see this. Missing his window of opportunity to really punish. But the DK is scouting the fact that there's not a tech yet. And hopefully this should be tipping them off, saying, we should probably do something, or there's maybe something fishy going on here. Not enough lumber to get this out, and that's because we did not build the 4th farm. We did not continue pumping peasants out. A bit of an error here in the build order, meaning this expo is going to be quite a bit slowed down. It's also the punishment of pulling 7 or 8 peasants for this expansion, meaning that you don't have the peasants burning lumber back at home. Realizing this, sending all the peasants back home. So a bit of a macro derailment from the human side of things. Not having the peasants to build that town hall feels really bad from the human side of things. But it should be coming up in this next volley. How many is he going to send? All 8. No, all 7 are going back out to build the town hall. Okay, on the other side of things, we've got level 3, we've got Scroll of the Beast. What kind of items has the Death Knight picked up? We've got gauntlets, rod. He must have sold another one. Perhaps slippers he sold. Human saying, maybe I can creep this away before your Lich comes out. I think that's some really good thinking.
A player's forces are under attack.
The Death Knight feeling really slick about taking on this kobold camp, but not realizing that the human has taken away some valuable experience from their Lich. So I'd call this so far a scouting error from the undead. The undead really needs to keep track of what is the human's game plan. Do we see a blacksmith? Do we see a tech? Do we see an expansion? Because we need to be able to react accordingly with our timings to combat whatever the human's doing. Definitely some scouting that needs to be figured out in the undead side of things here. Okay, we got our first engagement. Securing that kill with the death coil. Gonna donate a couple skeletons, maybe just one, to the human's cause. Still no tech from the human. We're gonna see, oh, an instant tier 3 tech from the undead. Oh, not instant, sorry, it's been tier 2 for a little while now. Lich is coming out. Slaughterhouse is almost done. Human stealing another creep camp away from the undead. The undead's going to have a tough time getting his Lich to level 3 here. Still level 2 on the Death Knight. Feels pretty bad compared to nearly a level 4 on the human side of things. Okay, taking on the second kobold camp. We got the circlet from the first one. Needs one more kill for level 3 in the Death Knight. That level 2 coil is going to come up really big here. But the human saying, can we interrupt that? Secures level 3 and is just getting out. Take the money and run. We don't have to fear a Mountain King. We don't have to fear any slows. The Death Knight's going to be faster than the human army. Nothing really to fear here.
Forces are under attack.
This expansion is getting more and more fortified, as well as the main. Tech is 1/3 of the way through for the human. Lucky enough, this Death Knight is gonna find the human before he starts that creep camp, and a huge Nova coming down on the footies who do not have defend upgrade and are gonna be taken apart by these fiends. We're gonna see one footy die, a second footy dying, a huge Nova coming out. These footies are just fodder for the undead machine. A third footman going down. We just saw a 6 supply turn in favor of the undead. Not willing to lose the fiend. Doing a great job using that mana. Both players equal in supply. Human running into the classic expansion problem. Yeah, that engagement really worked well for undead. But human running into the classic expansion problem of having 1,800 gold banked. How can we spend this more effectively? I would like to see a lot of footmen being pumped out here. I'd like to see more farms coming up. I'd like to see items being bought, which he is doing. Well done. I think the cloak is less useful at this point in the game as well. I'd probably sell that and maybe buy a second scroll. Or maybe boots for the Mountain King. Death Knight now making use of the illusions for some scouting. Checking out the human base and seeing that tier 2 is just finishing now. I'm surprised the undead hasn't done anything to thwart this expansion. Just letting the human build up the army is a tough way to play this game if you're the undead player. But we see the Pit Lord now. The classic undead base smasher. Likely skilling Rain of Fire as the first spell. Death Knight going back for the orb, and he's looking to really close it out with this timing. We've got 2 statues. We've got 4 fiends. The only thing that can make this better is having a level 3 Lich. Oh, electing to creep a little bit more. Hopefully it doesn't linger too long. He's really got to hit this timing hard before we see the Mountain King coming out and these tier 2 buildings and more fortification. Don't go and start this creep clamp.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh man, okay, so he just wants to creep some more. I'm not sure if this is the right call. The longer he waits, the longer this human's expansion runs. He's already taken 2,500 gold away from it, and the faster the human can, or the longer the human has to catch up in tech towards that undead. What item did he get for this trouble? Boots of Quel'Thalas. Feels pretty bad. So, undead donating valuable time to the human. Let's see how fast he can take out these towers and just really start putting some damage in. Saying, is he going to commit? He's got to do something. He's got to counter expand. He's got to all in. Teleport in with just this tiny force from the human. Retomed into Blizzard, I like that. Water elementals are not useful anymore now that the destroyers are out. Okay, now committing to the attack. We've got a double fortification upgrade from the human. I really like that. That's something that a lot of humans forget and don't take advantage of, especially on their expansion play, their two base play. We've got 2,000 gold banked from StoPClick. We've got 700 banked from Newbie. No upgrades queued. Of course, no upgrades queued for the human as they do not have a blacksmith. Blacksmith coming up. Oh, not in the bank, but a second arcane tower. These buildings all of a sudden are super tanky from that fortification upgrade, giving it a bonus 83 health and a bonus, I don't know, bunch of armor. Things are looking pretty tough for the undead in this position. Missing the timing on the initial expansion harass, and missing the timing, I think, for pushing into this base. I don't think these statues are doing anything. Oh, yeah, they are. Just turned on now.
Players' forces are under attack.
Got some idle peasants at the farm. I don't think StoPClick is too worried about his economy at this point in the game. But good to min-max that as best you can. This Blizzard hitting these fiends so hard. Breakers coming out. We see the Paladin perhaps coming into production soon. With a farm kill, so StoPClick would actually be supply stuck pretty quick.
A player's forces are under attack.
More fiends joining the army. Newbie not willing to break supply fully yet. He's only got 50. Okay, now he's starting to pump out more units.
Town is under siege.
And now we see StoPClick. Oh, he did get that second farm up. Or the next farm up. Okay, so we got a lumber mill coming up on the expansion. This is going to help create a little bit more shelter for those mining peasants. But the longer that Newbie waits and is not killing units, the more this game is going to favor the human player. Buying more items. Grabs a second TP. 43 food for StoPClick. He's sitting on 2,000 gold and over 2,000 lumber. He's got to start spending this. Where's the Paladin? Where are the Knights? Where are the Priests? Where's your production? Got more farms coming up in the back. Human player says, I can bunker pretty hard. But perhaps we're going to see our first hero kill of the game. Oh no, invuln pulled. Still no blacksmith for the human player. Yeah, in chat people are speculating that perhaps our human player built a second lumber mill on accident rather than a blacksmith. The sapper comes in dealing some heavy damage. Rain of fire down on the peasant line. Just going straight for the castle here. The Paladin is in production. But still no knights. Where are the knights? Where's your production? Ah, you can't build knights without blacksmith. That's what got him stuck. Definitely some macro mistakes for StoPClick to iron out. These fiends regenerating so much in the burrow. The siege is super powerful. Alright, casters are coming out. Paladins coming out. That's the first kill for Newbie since their early game engagements. I would have liked to see Newbie try to pick out some more of a human player's units. Just to try to rush that Lich to level 3. Once we get Lich level 3, our hero nuke potential is so much higher. And there you have it. Another unit going down. Okay, knights are now coming out. Our priests? Where are the priests? Oh, first knight falling. Yeah. I think StoPClick lost this game on some macro mistakes. StoPClick blaming the ping on this one. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sure playing on 300 ping is not fun. But I think you got to look at your macro first. The fact of bringing in 8 peasants without a 4th farm before your expansion. The fact that we sat on tier 3 with no benefit for so long. I think that these things are what cost you the game rather than ping. There weren't too many micro mistakes from either of the players that I could see. I really like our human player StoPClick going up and sneaking into the undead's back corner and taking that the goblin lab camp right from underneath the undead's nose. Some interesting creep route throughout this for sure. Okay, next one is Gym 3. We're going to be playing an Echo House. I wonder who's going to have the hard ping in this sense. Yeah, that might be the case, Nega. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of choice. I wouldn't want to play on 300 ping either, but I think both players should be focusing on winning as best they can. As far as I remember, players should have the option to have a third-party host when ping is super bad. I'm not sure why these players didn't just do that, where both players play on 150 or 200 ping, rather than one player play on 50 and the other play on 400. I don't know why that's not happening in this sense. I think it'd be a more fair way of doing it. I'll put my suggestion forward. Yeah, it's tough to find a good host. Maybe we can get a better host. So Baron's weighing in here saying technically it's StoPClick's host. It's up to him if how he wants to do it. Athos could probably do it, and they both get 215 to 270 ping. Seems like both players have decided that they want to try a third-party host here. I think that makes the most sense. Imagine if we played a game where we could all play at reasonable ping. And I'm not talking like 10 ping. I'm talking like 100 ping from all across the world. Do you think the technology is there to make this possible? Are we asking too much from this? I don't know if the technology is there, guys. Maybe it's just impossible. I can't imagine that an RTS game is super dependent on transferring data super fast. It's not like it's I don't know. It's frustrating. Well, let's hope for a good game. I would like to have it in a position where both players could accept their, be confident in their win and satisfied, or at least not feeling bad about their loss in a ping situation here. Gym 3, Echo Isles. Okay, here we go. Oh. Yep, we need to rearrange our team a bit. I can't imagine living in Australia just for the internet problems. I couldn't. Oh, man. It's like just constantly being at a disadvantage to every other player. Oh, we got red versus orange. It's going to be kind of hard on the eyes. Let's see if the players are satisfied with their playing conditions. What are we seeing? What kind of opening? 320 for newbie. Ugh. Okay, well, we got StoPClick playing the Pally rifle style, looks like. StoPClick on the good ping, so the human technically should have the advantage in this scenario here. And we've got a slightly delayed. Ah, we got a Crypt Lord, okay. Crypt Lord versus Pally rifles. So, if you're playing Pally rifles, what's your creep route? What's it going to be on Echo Isles? You really want to push level 3 as fast as you can. Level 4 is also very helpful as well. Tough to get level 4 on Echo Isles. I think we know what the Crypt Lord is thinking. I would expect him to blitz down to this first expansion and set up the second base. We have an Acolyte here scouting away, parking himself by the mercenary camp. Maybe we're going to see some one-base Crypt Lord play. Who knows? Nope, buying the Sacrificial Skull. We are going in for an expansion. Paladin, just starting to come out. First Rifleman's coming. Looking like it's pointing north. Saying I'd rather have this skeleton decay before it turns into a beetle that can be used against me. I kind of like this move with this Acolyte Scout, because the human's going to potentially send their first footman down to help contest that camp. And the Acolyte would end up seeing that. Taking damage on the peasants, not such a bad thing. Do we have an arcane? No arcane in the main. Paladin gets ring. Crypt Lord gets circlet. Crypt Lord creeping a lot faster, obviously. Electing to build another rifleman before the tech. I'm going to see level 2 for both players here. No scouting so far with the rifle paladin here. This is where the strategy kind of lacks, is in its scouting. So we don't have that footman to send off just to check things out. And you kind of want to keep your presence for the lumber. So you're kind of hesitant to send off a militia scout as well. But a militia scout would give a lot of information to our human player. Valuable information that he probably doesn't have yet. Going for an armor upgrade first. Okay. Supply stuck. We need a couple farms coming up as quick as we can. We're going to want 2 farms before tier 2, perhaps even 3.
Players' forces are under attack.
Has the Crypt Lord scouted the Paladin yet? I don't think so. Oh, finds a pendant. That's a great item. Both players creeping closer towards level 3. I think the Crypt Lord... I don't think the Crypt Lord is actually going to get it on this pack. But both middle camps are yet to be claimed. Often on Echo Isles, it's the player that takes on the majority of the middle camps that ends up doing the best. Okay, level 2 Holy Light. We've got Dust of Appearance for Burrow. We've got a Paladin that's looking pretty well prepared. Another Rifleman joining. Tier 2 not finished yet.
A player's forces are under attack.
Tier 2 just started with the Undead. Okay, so we're pushing this expansion. We're going to delay its ability to produce gold. Is this going to be enough? Is he going to be able to get the town portal out? Big impale down on 3 of those riflemen. Holy Light coming in. Save the rifleman. He's going to lose at least 1 rifleman for this. Is he going to TP out? He's trying to run away. Sacrificing 1 rifleman for the cause of delaying that expansion. And I think he got the cancel there as well. I think that's just 300 gold out of Newbie's pocket. You gotta think that the 300 gold is gonna be a ping issue in this case. Yeah, tough to cancel it on 300 ping in time. Yeah, we'll see. That could be a bit of a game changer. Okay, so we got another mid-game confrontation here. Beetles with heavy armor, reduced health, and ghouls versus our riflemen, which are a 1/1 upgrade, and +2 from the devotion aura. Okay, Beetles coming in for some harass on the main. Only 2. Not very dangerous. Especially with their reduced health. Oh, these are the level 1 Beetles. Just sending them into the meat grinder. Another cancel on this expansion. Our Undead has not mined a single bag of gold from this expansion, and perhaps now losing the Nerubian Tower. This could be deadly. It looks like that Nerubian is in fact going down. And Acolyte just walks right into the Holy Light. Soaking up some more Holy Lights for that Paladin. Undead says, okay, you're going to take my expansion. Let's see if I can return some economic damage to my opponent. Taking down the Scout Tower. And deciding to run away. Gotta feel like this match is leaning towards the human's favor. Let's see what kind of tier 2 buildings our human is deciding to set up. First says, let's build some towers. Protect that economy. I respect that. We do have a burrowed Crypt Fiend. Yeah, we do have the lumber to set up this one. Now he's going now, okay.
attack.
So our human is taking the first of the 2 contested middle camps, giving some valuable experience and a big consumable to this blood mage. Soaking up a lot of damage in that blood mage. I guess it's not a big deal. We've got Holy Light. Wand of Mana Stealing. That's going to be huge against that Crypt Lord. That could potentially take out an entire Impale, or even 2, from Crypt Lord.
A player's forces are under attack.
While the human player takes down a big contested camp in the middle, the undead has to settle for the measly, tiny green camp, the smallest green camp on the whole map. And we're going to come and see another expansion being cancelled. This is looking really grim for our undead player here, with 3 arcanes in the main from the human. Not a single tier 2 building coming up. Not a tech to tier 3 either. Interesting strategy. Just massing on those rifles. Not even worrying about the priests. I kind of like it. The priests are so fragile. Although breakers could do a lot against summons as well. And especially if you get control magic, could be a big deal. But we do have a tier 3 undead. We do have no hero being made yet. But we got Disease Cloud.
A player's forces are under siege.
Looks like our Tomb of Relics is going to be falling. That means no orb. Did he grab it already? He does not have the orb, so that's a big cancel. That's going to really slow this down. But he's starting to lose some valuable units here. Shuffling them to the back of the back of the base. Yeah, no Ruby in here. That is going to be tough for our defense. Okay, we got the Disease Cloud now. We're going to start seeing some major AoE damage from our Abomination. And the human player says, I've done enough damage. I've slowed you down enough. We can set up an Expo behind this and continue to extend our lead. Still no tier 2. Okay, yeah, we've got the Arcane Sanctum coming up now. Alright, so Undead's taking on Murloc Camp. Scout's the expansion coming up. So this is going to be really critical timing. The question is, does Newbie have enough of a force to be able to take down this expansion before it comes up? I think if this expansion comes up and we start getting some significant mining time, the game is going to be out of reach for the Undead. The human player taking the second contested camp and finding level 3 in the Blood Mage. This is looking really dire for our Undead. Level 2 Drain is huge. It's going to soak up all of the Death Knight and all of the Crypt Lord's mana in a matter of seconds. The Crypt Lord's going to have to find an interrupt to cancel with that Impale immediately. But even then, we've got the Wand of Mana Stealing. It's going to be tough for this Crypt Lord to find that. The Pendant of Energy is actually coming up pretty big here to keep him in that. Okay, here's our interaction. Here's our engagement. We've got 5 rifles versus quite a big tier 3 undead force. But hero levels favor the human. Bit of miss micro here. Missing the engagement. Cluing in now. We are fighting. Okay, first Holy Light goes to the rifleman. We've got Divine Shield, likely. Second rifle falls. Scroll of Protection used, but it's not doing a lot. This Disease Cloud eating away at this rifleman's health. 2 per second coming down. The expansion's running. Looking for that surround, can't close it. Just strictly doing damage based off of these Abominations, Disease Cloud. Okay, the beetles are wrecking the economy of this expansion. Okay, we got sorceresses coming out. I like it. I like the slow. I think that's the answer to these abominations. Looks like Newbie did find the timing there. And has kept himself in this game. StoPClick banking lots of cash. We've got a 10 supply lead for the undead. Alright, now finding this creep camp. Going to find another big passive item here. Could be a ring, could be a cloak. Talisman evasion, also great. Do we have a slow on the abomination? Nice banish. Can we follow up with a slow? Track this one down. Do we get the surround? Can we close it? It's a tricky one. It is a tricky one. Electing just to rifle it down instead of going for the surround. Coil comes down. We do not have Orb of Fire yet. Of course, tier 2. Big impale onto the army. We've got 4 abominations unable to swing at all in this really tight choke point. I like the human's ability here to keep the undead damage down to a minimum and still dish it out. We've just traded an abomination and a ghoul and a beetle and another ghoul for what looks like to be nothing. The human just took it for free. Granted, all of his units are very hurt. It's gonna go really bad now that we're out in the open. Now these abominations can just eat this rifle army. No problem. It's looking pretty bad. We needed a teleport. We needed a teleport way earlier. Where are the holy lights? Where's the mana drain? Okay, the mana drain was good. But we need more holy lights. Our sorceress is at 2 health. Okay, so the human army has got the sustain where the undead does not. We do not have any statues. No stat. Okay, first statue now coming out for the undead. We do have a haunted that has now finally scooped that first sack of gold away from the gold mine. Big regen scroll coming down here. Did we get a clarity as well? Not sure if we needed that. Okay, it looks like we got a griffin transition. More rifles coming out. How are the upgrades looking? 2-2 on the rifles. 1-0 on the abominations. 0-0 on the fiends. Shop control is big on this map. Being able to get these items at will is really, really important. No invuln bot, no scroll of healing bot, although he does grab the dust. I would like to see our human player perhaps wait until tier 3 can start paying off. He's fighting on a bit of an anti-timing here. Recognizing that we still have a minor level advantage in favor of the human. He decides that griffins are the answer, and I would have to agree. We have just a single fiend for anti-air. Okay, so the undead is going to grab a scroll of healing. Invuln's gone. Oh, the human got the invuln. Okay.
A player's forces are under attack.
Sorcerers using their valuable mana for slow on the creeps. We're out of mana now. We have no more slows for the actual engagement. That feels kind of bad. Adept Priest tells me that we might be going into Inner Fire, but we need some production happening quick. I'd like to see him kill off a peasant, make a paladin, maybe start researching Stormhammers. Good, he's got Inner Fire coming. Maybe get a second upgrade. He's built a Griffin instead of a Paladin. Okay. Not the worst. Still at 50 supply. Yep, mining with 4 acolytes. Baron says, I might be a human player. Yeah, you caught me. Only human. Literally, that's all I play. Alright. Here's the engagement. We've got 5 abominations coming down. And only 1 slow coming out. Oh man, these ghouls are so fast. And they're tearing into the priests. Dispel's coming down quick. We got our first griffin out. First rifle falling. We need some more holy lights. Where are the holy lights? Where's the mana drain? And the undead is deciding to teleport away. Scared away by the Griffin Rider. With a 2 armor upgrade. I guess he shares with rifles. That makes sense. Oh, we've got bats. That's an interesting answer. Or, yeah, gargoyles. Okay, I'd like to see a paladin come out. We're broken upkeep. We've loaded up a second griffin. And another priest. Let's get a paladin. Let's get some more sorks. Get some more sorks in there. We got enough rifles. Making use of that staff for free healing. This tells me that the human player is looking to stall. And perhaps not take on an extended engagement. Undead player still doesn't have their orb. You gotta think that's a bit of a mistake, an oversight. He was at his base, but didn't buy one. That can add a lot of focus fire damage, even coming from just a Crypt Lord. And also gives him another answer to the air units. Being able to hit the air from the ground heroes. I like this teleport out. I don't think he's gonna have time to be able to kill this, nope. But he does scout all of the Gargs. Gargs and A-bombs. I haven't seen this strategy before. But I kinda like it. If the Gargs can keep themselves away from the rifles, I think this could go okay. We've got a 0 armor upgrade for the undead for both. Level 2 devotion, definitely putting in work. Checking into this expansion. Supply, we've got 57 for StoPClick. Got 74 for newbie. Adding in the Dreadlord for what I assume to be his Icarian swarm. Human running across the map with another teleport. Militia coming in. No, our militia. Oh, your sacrifice is not in vain. Look at this whole troop.
A town is under
the entire militia army. We call this, folks, an all-in. Literally all in. All of the peasants coming out. So what's going to happen? Is the undead going to teleport back? Is he going to fight? He's got a supply advantage. He's got a hero advantage, perhaps, or the fact that he's got 3 rather than 2. Electing to unsummon buildings instead. Okay, human players teleporting back with all of the peasants. Oh, no, peasants are mining. Okay, that's an interesting play. Wow, it's an absolute melee. Human player with the aggressive teleport. I don't think this is going to serve him well. If he had teleported back further in his base, I think this game could have gone a lot better. Blood Mage falls. Griffin's putting in a lot of work. It's so hard to micro when the we're in such a crazy battle here. It's so hard to see anything with all the flying units on top of everyone. But what I can see is that newbie's at 58 supply, and StoPClick's at 25, and newbie is continuing to mine where StoPClick is not. This Griffin is at 31 health. Okay, there's a holy light. The peasants coming back on their long journey only to find the waiting arms of the undead player.
A town is under siege.
The entire human army just suffering from this disease cloud. This is looking pretty over for this human player. Gotta say. No money to rebuy. Undead is just adding to his supply back up to 61. We got a 30 supply advantage. Nearly a 40 supply advantage for the undead. You've got peasants just not knowing where to go. Says I'm out of here. I'm gonna go restart my race in a different map. He's going on to Concealed Hill. He says I liked it better. Baron, you're living your best life, man. Work can wait. GNL is forever. Work is temporary. And how can you not like this? We got a level 5 paladin.
A player's forces are
Just
under
smashing gargoyles with holy light. Human clinging on to his last hope. So Undead says, you're gonna hide in your base? Okay, I'm just gonna kill all of your buildings one at a time. But another guard falling. I think that Fiends are a better answer. I'm not totally sold on this Gargoyle anti-Urk tactic. Especially against Rifles and Griffins. They take so much damage from the magic and the piercing.
a player's forces are
Imagine if you
under
could just
attack.
web this Fiend down. It would be toast. You'd have no way to heal it. I guess you could staff, but you can't even staff a webbed unit, can you?
A town
An Acolyte beatdown, he calls it. Well played from both players. What an exciting series. That was a lot of fun to watch. Wow, what a series, guys. Well played from both players. Really fun to see that human undead matchup. I think it's one of the more exciting ones. I was really happy to see the human player employing 3 different strategies. That was awesome. We saw one base rifles. We saw
Player's forces are under
expansion play, and then we cap it off with some pally rifles. Looks like this human player definitely understands the matchup well. Cool to see some Crypt Lord first from the undead as well. Really putting on a show for us tonight. Interesting point that the player with the lower ping ended up taking down the win. I think that's kind of the story for our GNL games that we've seen today so far. Is that it's less dependent on micro, more dependent on build order, macro decisions, and timings. The player with the better creep route, the better plan, the better understanding of the matchup seems to do better
town is under siege.
overall.